Hey, get ready to dive into the creepy world of the Whispering Pines. The Whispering Pines is a captivating horror tale set in a forest that houses a campground surrounded by mystery and dread. A group of 5 friends sets off on a camping adventure to the Whispering Pines, a place that has been forgotten by most but is rumored to harbor bone-chilling secrets. Deep within the heart of the woods, an age-old campground stood hidden among towering trees, fading from the memory of many except those enough to venture into its enigmatic depths. Legends whispered tales of eerie sightings and the chilling presence that lurked beneath the shadows cast by the trees. Though few dared to explore its terrain, curiosity beckoned some souls towards the darkness that lay beyond. During one autumn season, a fearless band of 5 companions, Alex, Sarah, Mark, Emily, and Jason, made up their minds to embark on a camping expedition to none than the infamous Whispering Pines campground. As dusk settled behind the mountains, they reached their destination brimming with anticipation, yet tinged with an apprehension that seemed woven into the very fabric of the atmosphere. The trees swayed in dance, as if imbued with vitality. Their branches extended like bony fingers reaching into space. They pitched their tents close to a clearing surrounded by pine trees, their figures observing the visitors with an unsettling stare. A gentle rustling in the shrubs outside the reach of the campfire's glow caused them to feel a shiver down their backs. Despite trying to dismiss it as a woodland critter, an uneasy sensation came over them. As the night grew darker, they couldn't feel an unsettling atmosphere surrounding them. The crackling campfire cast shadows on the walls of their tent, adding to the ambiance. Sarah, who loved telling stories, thought it would be an idea to share some tales to take their minds off the increasing uneasiness. She began spinning a narrative about an individual who had once bravely camped in these very woods and mysteriously disappeared without a trace. As if in agreement with her story, the wind picked up. The branches creaked ominously, lending credence to the tale she wove. Jason, who was usually skeptical among the group, felt a shiver run down his spine. He tried to dismiss it. There was a fear creeping up on him. Mark laughed nervously, trying to maintain a sense of normalcy. His eyes kept scanning the darkness as if searching for dangers. Emily, known for being sensitive and intuitive, couldn't shake off the sensation of being under surveillance. She moved closer to Alex, seeking solace in his presence. However, even Alex, known for his bravery and logical thinking, couldn't ignore the energy that surrounded them. He did his best to reassure everyone. Even his voice carried a hint of uncertainty. In an effort to lighten the atmosphere, they decided to play a card game. The faint echo of shuffling cards resonated eerily through the tranquil night. As the game unfolded, it felt as though the forest was encroaching upon them, with the trees appearing to inch to their campsite. The atmosphere grew heavy with tension, and every sudden crack of a twig momentarily startled them. However, all of a sudden, a distant wail erupted, causing the group to fall into silence. It seemed to cut through their fear, rendering them paralyzed with terror. It was in sound resonating with an overwhelming sense of desolation and grief. The flames danced, creating shapes on the fabric of the tent. Sarah's complexion grew pale. Her voice quivered as she softly uttered, "It's best if we go. Immediately." Just as they were about to react, a heavy darkness descended upon the campsite. The forest appeared to tighten its grip, creating an atmosphere of suffocation and threat. The group gathered closely, their hearts racing in their chests, struggling to distinguish between reality and illusion. Then amidst the darkness, they noticed something alight shining through the trees, resembling a off-lantern. The light shimmered, as if inviting them to venture into the woods. Emily, despite her reservations, felt an attraction towards the glow. She heard a voice, persistent, encouraging her to pursue it. "Emily, come, find me." Despite the pleas of her friends, she couldn't resist the allure of the light. Mark, who was standing closest to her, reached out, held onto her arm in an attempt to prevent her from proceeding. However, Emily's gaze remained fixated on the sphere. "Let go. I must find out what it is," she whispered, her voice distant and trance-like. Emily walked away, leaving the rest of them huddled together, their fear growing stronger. The forest felt eerie and full of malice. They couldn't shake the feeling that something ominous was keeping an eye on them. However, Emily continued forward, following the eerie light deeper into the whispering pines. The voices of her friends faded behind her, replaced by the ominous hush of the forest. With every step, the light grew brighter, illuminating the gnarled roots and decaying leaves underfoot. The air was thick with an ancient presence, an aura that seeped into her very bones. As she ventured deeper, the trees seemed to close in on her, their branches forming a sinister arch overhead. The once soothing whisper of the wind became a haunting symphony of ghostly moans, like the anguished cries of lost souls. But Emily could not turn back. She was captivated, almost hypnotized by the light's allure. Suddenly, the light vanished. The silence enveloped the forest as Emily stood amidst the fading glow. Her heart raced within her chest, a blend of apprehension and curiosity stirring in her soul. The mischievous creature had vanished, leaving behind a trace. Unsure of what to do next, Emily hesitated for a moment before turning back toward the campsite. As she walked, she couldn't shake the feeling that the forest was still watching her, as if it had secrets yet to be revealed. Her friends were waiting anxiously. Their worried faces turned to relief at the sight of her safe return. "Emily, are you all right?" Alex asked, concern evident in his voice. "I'm okay," Emily responded, her thoughts racing with all that she had encountered. "I followed the light. It disappeared before I could get to it." Sarah shivered, her eyes filled with unease. "It's as if the forest itself tried to tempt you," she murmured softly. Jason cast glances at the trees around them. "We should get out of here. This place isn't safe," he proposed. Emily couldn't feel a strange attraction, an intense longing to unravel the enigmas concealed within the whispering pines. "I'm not sure," she pondered. "There's an essence about this woodland, something potent and enigmatic. It's as if there's a world waiting to be uncovered." Mark stared at her in disbelief. "Are you kidding me, Emily?" "We just heard that scream. Who knows what other dangers are hiding in the shadows?" Emily nodded, acknowledging the risks they had encountered. However, she couldn't ignore the connection she felt towards the forest. It might sound peculiar. There's a part of me that's intrigued to remain and explore. The forest seems to beckon me, as if it holds a tale. Her friends exchanged glances, torn between their concern for Emily's safety and their own curiosity about the forest's secrets. "We ventured here in search of excitement," Sarah finally spoke up, breaking the silence. "Excitement we have found. Perhaps it's time to return home before things become more peculiar." Emily understood her friend's worries, couldn't shake off the sensation that she had merely skimmed the surface of the forest's enigmas. "You all are free to go," she said. "I believe I need to stay a while longer. There's something I must uncover, something that entices me into the depths of whispering pines." Alex took a step forward, his face showing a combination of concern and resolve. "If you're choosing to stay, then we're going to stay by your side," he asserted. "We won't abandon you here alone." Emily felt deeply moved by the loyalty of her friends. She didn't want to impose if they were uncomfortable. "You don't have to do this," she reassured them. "I'll manage fine on my own." Sarah shook her head confidently, showing her determination. "Absolutely not. We're in this together, Emily. Whatever secrets this forest holds, we'll confront them as a front." Therefore, the entire group collectively agreed to extend their stay in the enchanting Whispering Pines for a bit. The forest appeared to hum with excitement, as if acknowledging their decision, and resumed its again. The gentle breeze whispered through the trees while mysterious shapes gracefully danced within the shadows. Amidst the atmosphere, Emily and her friends felt an inexplicable sense of tranquility. They knew they weren't alone. Of fear, they were overcome with a connection to the ancient spirits residing within the heart of the Whispering Pines. In the days that came after, Emily and her companions ventured further into the woods, driven by a curiosity and an unspoken bond. The Whispering Pines had warmly embraced them. As they bid farewell to the campsite to head back home, they knew down that their expedition was far from over. The forest had captivated their hearts, and its mysterious charm would forever stay woven into their souls. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and hit the bell for more content. And I'll see you in the next video.